manager.
I'm the manager.
Do you know who I am? So you chose to work with Ronald. Probably some things can be bought after all.
At this point, it's about what's right and wrong.
How much is Kaikara paying you?
Did I just hear my father's name?
Meaning attitude?
I'm not pleased with the decision that you made without consulting me.
What decision?
Lucky. She's after my blood. That one.
Wiki hii kwenye mkulima, tunajiunga na mkulima bomba ambaye amejitosa katika kilimo biashara. Anaangazia ufugaji wa mifugo mbalimbali na ukuzi wa mimea kadha wa kadha.
Ile kitu mimi naweza advise wakulima ni kuwa waonyeshe watoto wao waache kwenda kutafuta kazi, bali waonyeshe kurudi kwa mashamba, wapate kazi hapa na pesa. Juu pesa mingi iko kwa ukulima. Kwa hapa kwa ukulima hakuna pesa huwezi pata. Unaweza jihesabia kila mwezi hapa unaweza pata 500 to 1 million every month ukijipaga vizuri.
Usikose kujiunga nasi Jumamosi saa 10:30 hapa KBC Channel 1 kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo.
Harambee Stars are set to face Cameroon in October before hosting the return leg in Kampala in mid-October. Catch the matches live on KBC Channel 1 as both teams chase slots for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations live on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Beautiful afternoon to you from wherever you're watching this live broadcast from, and thank you so much for choosing KBC Channel 1 to inform you this Saturday afternoon, a day that we're also marking the World Tourism Day, which is actually marked annually on the 27th of September. Moreover, today, Kenyans will be marking that day, and I understand that they're trooping in their numbers at the Nairobi National Park, and actually it is free for all Kenyans, even as we mark the World Tourism Day. Our very own John Kahiro is there for us. He's our eyes and ears on the ground, and momentarily we shall be linking up with him to just prime us on how this day is looking like, the feel of Kenyans, even as they gain free entry to the Nairobi National Park. That and so much more is what you're tracking for you. This is Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen Arange. And now, senior officials in Busia County found themselves in a tough spot as they struggled to account for 29 million shillings spent on renovating Busia Governor Paul Otoma's office during the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Appearing before the Public Accounts Committee, the officials led by Finance Chief Officer Topista Wanyama failed to provide satisfactory explanations for the expenditures. The committee also raised concerns over the lack of transparency in the awarding of tender for Busia town beautification, which has been linked to the alleged misappropriation and additional 2 million shillings.
The Auditor General has been to flag out the renovations at the Governor's Lounge. We are aware from the audit that we need accountability for 29 million that was used for the renovation of that particular building. But we've also been informed there was an earlier contract of 5 million that was supposed to do the same renovations. So that matter for us is not resolved, and we are going to dig further, get the bills of quantities, so that we're able to confirm if there's value for money.
If we spend 59 million to acquire automation of revenue in Busia County, why are we not receiving an increase in revenue collection? So it means that there is fault in this revenue system, and we want to identify those faults. Why are this? We are having a lot of revenue whereby we are setting targets as a county, but we are not achieving it.
Tunaenda kuandika ripoti hiyo tutaileta kwenye bunge. Ripoti hiyo ni ripoti ya kila mwanabusia kuweza kuisoma, na tutaweza kuweka mapendekezo yetu, na vile mwenyekiti aliweza kusema kuwa hatulegezi kamba.
Now, as Kenya joins the rest of the world in marking International Maritime Week, it has emerged that the country is struggling to reap from the resources offered by its seas and oceans. Stakeholders in the industry say that Kenya has incredible resources in shipping, fishing, mining, tourism and sports, which if exploited will help create jobs and boost exports for the country. On his part, Mount Kenya University Vice Chancellor Professor Deogratias Jagani said the launching of Kenya's first private maritime academy in Malindi by Mount Kenya University will provide students with essential skills needed to exploit the opportunities in the maritime industry.
Because of the safety causes ambazo munakuja kufanya. For the past, I don't know, it was 4 or 6 months ago, kulikuwa na wavuvi wetu bwana PS wenye ambao walikwenda kuvua, kukatokelezea mvua kidogo, ikaleta mtafaruki, wakapotea.
Lakini wale vijana ambao wamezaliwa karibu na bahari, ndani ya Kilifi, Mombasa, Tana River, Lamu, wacha waje wa train hapa, wapate kazi. Nyuma tuletea saizi, wajua Malindi is a tourist destination. Tunataka hii tourist destination si wale wa nje, sisi wenyewe watoke kule waje waone Maritime Academy Malindi chapter iko wapi.
A Seychelles-based cryptocurrency exchange company has officially launched its operations in Kenya, expanding its footprint in Africa. As part of its commitment to empowering the next generation of crypto leaders, the platform is urging youth to register for its free blockchain training sessions. Selected participants in the program will gain access to high-profile events, engage with luminaries and investors, and receive exposure that will shape their personal growth and future prospects as crypto leaders.
We see Kenya as a technological hub. Therefore, of course, a lot of youths in general, not just Kenya, from Africa, we see a lot of youth adopting these new technologies, and it's very important to present them with this type of technology to ensure them that we actually present equal opportunities to all Kenyan, especially the young people. However, these products can be used by any other users across different age groups.
We keep, pushing a lot of user education. That is our focus, community development, and helping to partner with more of the blockchain platforms that are actually pushing this agenda forward.
If you're doing a trade, it's important to take your time. If you find anyone who's pressuring you to do a particular transaction, please take your time, because the people who may come onto a platform or come into a transaction wanting you to do it very quickly may want to take your money. So it's important to just relax. Go whenever you get a prompt, find out from customer support as well if that is something that you should do.
The professional journey of retired Judge Joyce Alwoch, a trailblazer in the justice system, is said to be documented in a film dubbed Existence Beyond Measure. The documentary, whose production is currently underway, tells the story of her passion as a child's rights crusader and instances where she has broken the ceiling to become the first female judge of the High Court of Kenya. Her stint at the Court of Appeal before she moved to the International Criminal Court, where she later served as the first female vice president of the Hague-based court, The production of the film is an initiative in collaboration with the RFH Healthcare that honors influential figures who embody integrity, justice, and social impact, among other accolades. She also served for 6 years as the Vice Chair and member of the UN Committee on the Rights and Welfare of Children.
And of course, as corporates, in terms of collaborations and partnerships, we are coming up as one of the corporates that is supporting this initiative. She's an holder of Trailblazers Award, which is a presidential award. And so it's an inspiring story, knowing that somebody can come from a village in this country and rise to the ranks of an international position. And to us, it's such inspiring stories that we'd wish to be part of, because our institution is part of the inspiring stories in this country. And so we want to create more stories that can give hope to the young people growing up in this nation today, that there's a hope that no matter where you come from, you can always rise to be something in society.
And now the patron of Ushika Wema, Tessie Musalia, has appealed to the Kenyan government to review the basic curriculum framework in order to accommodate other subcategories of special needs and disabilities such as dyslexia, autism, emotional and behavioral difficulties at all levels of education. The spouse of the Prime Cabinet Secretary made these remarks during the groundbreaking construction and renovation of Chekombero Special School for the hearing impaired in Vihiga County, where parents of children with special needs welcomed the project, stating that it will be the stepping stone in shaping their children's future.
I appeal to the government to strengthen our teachers' capacity at all levels through implementation of special needs education, pre-service training, continuous development training, and expansion of specialized training programs will equip them with skills to recognize signs of disabilities effectively.
Shule hii imedhihirisha kwamba huyu mtoto akiendelea anaweza kuwa na kazi ya kufanya ya mikono.
Hii shule ikipanuliwa itakuwa sawa, mtoto yangu mimi ako sawa. Bila alikuwa acha kucha kwa hii shule, hakuwa anafanya kitu yoyote. Lakini saa hii ako active.
They want to give us a new ground for the learners to be playing at games time and during music time. They want to give us a good laboratory that will make us have better results, because as per now we don't have the laboratory.
Exactly 12 minutes past the top of the hour. We are due for a break now. Plenty more on the other side of this breather. Stay with us.
Wiki hii kwenye mkulima, tunajiunga na mkulima bomba ambaye amejitosa katika kilimo biashara. Anaangazia ufugaji wa mifugo mbalimbali na ukuzi wa mimea kadha wa kadha.
Ile kitu mimi naweza advise wakulima ni kuwa waonyeshe watoto wao waache kwenda kutafuta kazi, bali waonyeshe kurudi kwa mashamba, wapate kazi hapa na pesa. Juu pesa mingi iko kwa ukulima. Kwa hapa kwa ukulima hakuna pesa huwezi pata. Unaweza jihesabia kila mwezi hapa unaweza pata 500 to 1 million every month ukijipaga vizuri.
Usikose kujiunga nasi Jumamosi saa 10:30 hapa KBC Channel 1 kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo.
Kenyanchi, the most hardworking man in Eastern Central of Africa.
Hey, wasimamizi mipango ya kando. Only chap can come up with something like that.
Honestly, Gladys, that's a new one.
is not that simple, sir. My classmates are...
Forget about your classmates and their petty minds. Focus, guy. Focus on the things you've come here to do.
Eating is everywhere, even in prison. In fact, guys, you can go and ask Kenya.
Raha jipe mwenyewe.
Agneta. Just akahinti tu kalaha jipe mwenyewe.
Welcome back. And now the Kisumu County Assembly has partnered with local civil society organizations to conduct civic education and awareness creation on the distinctive roles of the two levels of government, the role of elected leaders as well as the budget-making process. The Assembly's Speaker Elisha Oraro, addressing a consultative forum between the County Assembly and the Kisumu County Development Trust, noted inadequate knowledge of governance issues among residents of the Lakeside County continues to impede development projects. The hybrid initiative largely targets the youth, whom the Assembly felt do not take part in governance issues.
The reality is that many people still do not understand the difference between national government and county government, especially in relation to their functions. You still find people talking about things that are done by the national government to the county government. Now we have taken as a mandate that in the next coming days, we are going to work together to sensitize the public on the roles of county government, the roles of national government, and in summary, just governance, the governance structure of our country, from what the Senate does, what the National Parliament does, what the County Assembly does, what the executive, both at the National and the County Assembly does, what the judiciary does is very key. And we are more interested in what the MCS are supposed to do in the county. We have realized that in many cases, anything happens, out of the 6 people who are elected, people tend to go very fast to the member of County Assembly, who is at the grassroots level. We also want to discuss about resources, how much is available. You are aware that currently, donor funding is limited, but there is commercial financing. We need to talk about this.
Collaboration is required between the government, the assembly, and civic CSO to plan and first produce that manual. 2, then invest in it. 3 is that so that we can monitor together its implementation. But because it's a bigger role, it requires collective efforts and required a political goodwill for it to be delivered.
We've realized that probably what we have been doing before might not be very effective, and we have changed the pattern. And that is why I've said that we are one of the most open assemblies, and we do most of our live sessions. And what we know, we are asking the leadership of the assembly probably, because I know there are limitation of funds, but in future you shall see some of our public participations on the ground also going live, so that those who are not able to attend physically are able to interact with the sessions probably online, because that is where you'll get most of the youths in these social spaces.
Banks are charging between 9% and 21.36% interest on loans. This is according to the latest monthly lending rates ranking by the Central Bank of Kenya, which indicates that Premier Bank Kenya offers the cheapest loans while Middle East Bank charges the highest interest rates on loans. In the top tier banks category, Diamond Trust Bank and Cooperative Bank of Kenya offer the cheapest loans priced at 12.41% and 15.14% respectively. The central bank says Cooperative Bank of Kenya offers the cheapest personal and business loans in the top tier banks category, charging 12.02% interest rate. The central bank publishes lending rates for borrowers to make informed decisions when seeking loans from any of the 38 banks in Kenya. The hospitality industry workers in Kenya are set to benefit from training programs courtesy of county governments and the Tourism Fund to venture into the global job market. Speaking in Kisii National Polytechnic, Cyrus Tochim, the Tourism Fund director, said that the initiative is in line with Kenya Kwanza's government bottom-up agenda on job creation to ensure the issue of unemployment of the youth in the country is addressed.
The training we've been offering here is to promote those who are in the tourism industry, but they do not have basic training. So I want to challenge the youth to be active and to look for a way of earning a living.
We are equipping these employees with the skills that they require to work better. We know that they've gained a lot of skills by working at the industry, but we are topping up. We are doing recognition of the skills they have learned, and we are also upskilling them so that they can even perform better.
An ungovernmental organization in Homa Bay County has embarked on a 2-day tree planting initiative in Kodera Forest. The 2-day initiative by the Seth Ogello Foundation targets to plant over 10,000 seedlings. The initiative has attracted various environmental stakeholders in the region who are focusing on improving the tree cover at Kodera Forest, which has been severely affected by illegal logging. The over 703 hectares forest is located in Kasipul sub-county.
We tried as much as possible to educate them. First, we looked at what strategy would we put in place for them to come and appreciate the forest. So we started with what we call plantation establishment and livelihood improvement scheme.
The aim of Mitimation is to make a difference, especially in our schools. We want to teach children how to take care of their environment by planting trees, and those trees, they take care of them until they leave that school environment. And every day they come back to that school, they'll say, that tree was my tree. I planted it 15 years ago.
As a county government, we have put aside 12 million grants with support of FLOCA, so that we have identified 2 tree nursery proprietors that are being run by youths and women. And out of the entire county, we have identified 80 number. Out of this 80, we are going to give 150,000 each as a conditional grant to enable them expand their tree nurseries.
And in Embu County, the residents of Karura Village have formed a splinter group to the Karura Community Sand Harvest Association. In response to conflict over sand harvesting along Tana River in Kiambere, Embu County, they cut ties with the existing Kiambere Ward community-based organization, citing neglect and unfair revenue sharing. Tensions escalated as locals barricaded roads to enforce the 1,000 shillings fees for sand transport intended to fund community projects. The area MCA, Lenny Masters, denied mismanagement claims, asserting all areas have benefited from the revenue. He accused county officials of fostering divisions to access resources, cautioning against the ongoing tension over governance.
Haja yetu ni hao watu wa mchanga watuachie ile pesa ambao wanaachanga Mtobare kwa simbi ya Mtobare, inaachiwa hapa ndio watu wa Karura wafaidike. Hiyo ndio tu haja yetu.
Sisi kama wakaanji wa Karura hatunjaona maendeleo, hatunjaona kitu imetufanyia, na inatoka hapa kwetu. Vijana wengi sana hapa kwetu wanaenda wanapakia lori, wanapata kitu kidogo, na ile kitu mingi inapatikana na huko juu simbio inalipwa. Haitusaidii.
Hii maneno yote ikifanyika, sana sana hii hapa Kiambere Ward inaongozwa na mfanyikazi wa gavana. Inaongozwa na nani? Mfanyikazi wa gavana. Huyo mmesikia njao wanamuita GDU. GDU ni kusema Governors Delivery Unit.
To some sporting action now, and a new generation of runners are expected to take center stage at this year's Berlin Marathon, which will be held tomorrow in the German capital city, with most of the major marathon stars, including Kenyan Eliud Kipchoge and Ethiopian world record holder Tigst Assefa, skipping the event in the wake of the Paris 2024 Olympics just over a month ago. The field is wide open in both the men's and women's races since 2015. Kipchoge has won 5 times in Berlin, Kenensia Bekele has won twice, and Guye Adola once. With all three missing the event, Kenyan Kibiwot Kandie and Ethiopian Tandase Tekele are among the favorites for the men, while Olympic silver medalist Assefa's training partner Tigist Katema leads a quality field, including 2014 Laureus World Sportswoman of the Year, Genzebe Dibaba. The favorable conditions in the German capital have produced 13 world records in the event's 50-year history. Africa Games middleweight champion Edwin Okongo of KDF humbled David Ojode of Kibra in a referee stop contest decision to advance to the finals of the third leg of the National Boxing League at Moi Stadium in Embu County. Mike Kahori of Embu also booked a ticket to the finals after stopping Francis Ocheng. In the special contest category, Kelvin Maina of KDF defeated Mohamed Katambo of Kongoea in a referee stop contest decision in the flyweight category, while Linus Mwangi of Nakuru beat Ray Mwangi of Laikipia on points. In the minimum weight category, Abednego Kialo of KDF saw off Maurice Kimani of Kibra in a referee stop contest decision, while Anthony Ndungu defeated Abubakar Hussein of Dallas on points. The third leg of the National Boxing League has attracted 56 boxers drawn from different clubs and counties.
Hii ligi iko salama, iko poa. Nashukuru pia nashukuru jeshi na BFK kwa kuorganize, at least inatuinua juu na inainua vijana juu na kipaji na leta vipaji juu, kwa sababu bila mchezo hata pia mimi singekuwa hapa, kwa sababu ni ligi tu ndio ilifanya tukaweza kuja hapa na kuwa hapa.
Changamoto ziko mingi kila mahali, sababu ukijaribu kuangalia hata hapa wale boxers ama zile timu zimefika hapa ni chache kulingana na zile huwa zinafika. Mara mingi tukienda mchezo wa ligi tunapata boxers karibu 100 ama 110 ama 70, lakini hapa walikuja 50 na wasichana 6 ambayo total inakuja 56.
Dandora Youth and Equity played to a 2-2 draw in the FKF Division 1 match at Dandora Stadium. The first half saw Dandora Youth dominate possession and create a number of attacking threats, but it was Equity who broke the deadlock just before halftime with a well-taken goal by Baraka Kevin. In the second half, Equity doubled their lead in the 61st minute, courtesy of a strike from Collins Odhiambo. However, Dandora Youth mounted a spirited comeback as substitute Maxwell Mboya pulled one back in the 64th minute, and Clifford Kipenzi netted a dramatic equalizer in stoppage time to salvage a point for the home side.
Wamefunga bao mbili. Inaweza kuwa maybe ni timu yetu ni young and inexperienced, lakini na hope vitu zitakuwa poa. Kitu naweza shukuru vijana ni hiyo comeback wamefanya. Kutoka chini ilikuwa rahisi na bana ni bao mbili. Imekuwa ni show poa sana kwao.
Kocha ameamua kuchukua vijana wadogo juu hata desire yenye tuko nayo, bidii yenye tuko nayo na ile anga yenye tuko nayo kushinda game. Na in future tuna expect more to come from the coach, vile tunaonyeshwa na vile tunagaidiwa, na believe tunaweza fika fana success yetu.
All right, now that story puts a cap on what we had lined up for you this Saturday afternoon. Thank you so much for making time for us. This has been KBC Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen Arange. Lucy Maura has been our sign language interpreter. Good afternoon.